Okay, I began recording quite late. I'm going to go through the draft once again, but I'm going to do it brief. Silas, Thresh, good combination because Silas really wants the ultimate from the champions that counter Thresh. On top of that, Thresh, we saw that Tillisang doesn't have any answer to Thresh. The best one here would be Alistar, but Alistar ult with Silas is a rough one. Tillisang doesn't play Alistar. Nautilus is also a good response, but there was no Tillisang prio ever since Rift Rivals for Tillisang. So this is something that he didn't want to play. He chose to pick Morgana. Morgana I disagree with because we can see how hard Fnatic suffer when Hylissang is not the one with a lot of initiative on his champion. Even though he might be a good Morgana, it's just not good enough for what Fnatic is as a team. Then we saw second wave bans. A big mistake here, I think, is that Jax was banned first. They didn't respond to it as a Kled ban because blue side bans always second. In second phase, they ban after red side bans, so they can always ban reactionary. Here, YamatoCannon is banned. Jarvan is a cute pickup because it's good into Zaya and Morgana. It's also very good into Gragas if you manage to snowball early and you have prio. So I think in the Silas Kali matchup, I'm not sure who has prio, honestly. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but Jarvan can give prio. Jarvan can give prio, and Akali needs to respect Jarvan early, so Silas can push and Jarvan can invade and cause some damage onto Gragas. Okay, then we had the Kaisa as well. Kaisa is so fucking OP because it gives you so many options in the draft. Kaisa is never ever a bad pick. That's what's OP about Kaisa. You can lock in Kaisa. Bottom matchup will in a lot of cases be fine, especially if enemy doesn't pick Alistar. You can also play Gragas into Alistar, and you can be fine with Kaisa. And then damage mix is also a very big deal. Kaisa damage mix, you can choose, oh, I have 2 ADs on my team, I can buy AP, you know, OP. Okay. Renekton Kled matchup, we already saw that this is bad. This is just a disaster. It didn't work out for Fnatic the first series. So it's a problem. Here's something I wanted to point out was so G2 chose blue. Again, loser always chooses side. Right, this time we have Silas into Akali. Big step up from before. We had fucking LeBlanc into Akali and Zaya Leona, who's hard to play. Really good bot lane matchup for Kaisa and Thresh. I think it's a big benefit for G2 to stabilize bottom as much as possible, because I think if Whip is not on Jax and Fnatic's bot lane is not playing something super explosive, and where Lillisang is playing something that gives him a lot of initiative, I think they look a lot worse. And Jax is not something you can blind pick, you have to pick it into very specific champions. And that's it, yeah. Jarvan gets leash, Renekton fake leashes here. Renekton fake leash, bottom leash, so everyone kind of leashed. So this makes Jarvan's decision here a bit harder, because he could... he doesn't know Broxah start. Flash Nemesis, we mentioned before, Akali just needs to respect early against Jarvan, completely normal. Jarvan steps into red side jungle. Here, Gragas could have started red and Raptor, and he could be in trouble. Jakos is going straight into top side, and Bwipo flashed. Imagine you're jungling and you're walking into top, and enemy mid top laners flashes. This is prime time, you're super happy. Kled, if he snowballs in this matchup, game is over. Jankos got so much fucking value already, and I think you have to blame fucking Bwipo and Akali for this, because Gragas honestly is not going to be able to keep up with Jarvan early. It's just how it is. And Kled, like Renekton, needs to give up push. And Akali needs to give up push too. Level 2, Broxah is getting punched. Electrocute is procced. That's a flash from Broxah, flash from Jankos. He forgot that plant exists. He could have been happy with the flash, and now Jankos can secure enemy red. Super much value here from Jankos. Crazy value. And all things considered that both sides fake leashed or leashed and he didn't know information of Broxah, this is just the absolute best outcome for Jankos. Absolutely best outcome. Jankos was a monster this game, man. What a beast. And the game is lost. And the game is lost, guys. As sad as that might seem, the game is fucking lost. And then now Predator gang onto bottom, Brox has Predator on, and the fact that G2 bot lane, the only thing they need to do here, Mickey with the fucking Smurf flash. They just need to survive this gank. They survived this gank. They are good state on CS, on bot. This was Brox's Predator. This is a very big deal that they survived this. Very well played from Mickey to flash. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna change my camera again. Gragas also burned flash earlier on the gank. I mean, earlier in the fight, in the 1v1. Here is a bit troll. I don't know why Caps doesn't flash. He can just flash and live. Maybe he thinks Brox has flash and that's why he doesn't want to use flash. That's the only kind of reasoning I can find in the situation. But it's definitely a mistake. Both AD have TP. Level 4 to 3. Jankos is having a field day. Double crab. Also got denied. Caps died for no reason. This is something that gave Gragas a lot of breathing room. I was criticizing Caps a lot in this series because there's a standard that you expect from Caps, right? You expect him to play much, much better, and I think he showed a lot of glimpses of genius in this series. I think Caps can be an absolute monster. Okay. Top is boom. It's just so hard because Renekton's never gonna be fucking useful again in this game. Just unwinnable. Oh. Oh. And he's off. It's also so big that Wonder survives this gank on top. It's a free Drake, it's a Cloud Drake, it's kind of useless. I don't know if it's good to lose your tempo on this because you could be clearing and then invading enemy blue. I don't know if it's... Honestly, I don't like this. I don't like this Drake. I think better pressure bottom, set up situation where you can invade enemy buffs and then keep snowballing onto Gragas, snowball your advantage. Because Jankos loses so much fucking tempo here for this Cloud Drake. I think it's bad. He has to base and he's low HP and he does nothing to impact the map after. I think make sure your bottom can push, get prio, invade enemy blue. Perfect. Because here Roxa catches up. Jankos was ahead, but now Roxa will catch up completely. 6 to 5. Roxa doing blue. Trying to spot when Broxa gets level 6. Top Renekton used ult. Didn't get the kill. He also flashed. I think Wonder did good flash here. I don't know if he one-shots. I'm pretty sure he will have to flash. Nemesis is diveable. Gragas still not 6. But imagine a scenario where he gets denied bottom side camps. It's fucking disastrous. I just think Cloud Drake is bad. Maybe you want the next dragon to spawn. That's not a good enough reason to sacrifice early game tempo, especially if you play Jarvan. Not playing a jungle that's that good at doing the Drake. Morgana no flash, but he has stopwatch on in 50 seconds. I don't think Jankos accomplishes that much by going into bottom. Honestly, I would put my focus on this top lane. Just fucking keep killing this Renekton with no flash, and Kled is gonna 1v9 the game anyway. Kled is strong enough to win anyone on side. Like, Kled is such a big scaler. Like, I think this is monster. Bottom matchup is 2. It's weird because bottom, whoever ganks bottom is at such a disadvantage that you don't want to take that risk. Like, you don't want to run towards a Thresh and a Morgana ever, as Gragas or Jarvan. And then there's Xayah and Kaisa. These are just champions that are so hard to catch. I think mid into top is the correct way to play this game. I don't like the Jankos showed up on bottom here. I think it's a big waste of time. Unless you want to make a play where you push into bottom, you give your bot lane to space to push, you gank maybe once, and then you TP into top and you create a situation like that. But both AD carries have TP, so you can just play away from it and play into top side. And then Mickey has Moby Boots. In case enemy pushes bottom and forces with Gragas, and they have tempo onto Rift, Mickey can just match with his Mobies, and you can TP with Kaisa if necessary. So I think Jarvan just wasted time here. I think just look to pressure the Renekton as much as possible. Put him in dive situation. Pressure from mid into top is the way. No vision is built around mid. Both players on G2 side don't have pink ward. They should try to set up pink wards into top side. I think is the best way to play the game. Okay, TP of Kaisa, ult into Q, auto. As I said the previous game, like Bippo dies to this constantly. Kled has TP for bot, he's gonna TP onto bottom, Jankos is already on, the Rift Herald. Very good and greedy play from G2, because here they managed to get everything. They defend bottom, push top, kill top, get Rift Herald. It's just even more game lost than before. Kled is tough to dive, he has Ninja Tabi, Morgana, Xayah, what can they really do to dive? Renekton died outside the tower. Renekton here should consider TP, but he's keeping TP, I guess, because he would just catch 2 creeps. I guess that's the thought process. Why he doesn't TP? Okay. Jarvan hovering into bottom side. The big difference here is that Kaisa Thresh actually have an easy time diving Renekton, but diving Kled is fucking hard as Morgana Xayah. They don't have any guaranteed CC. Like, Thresh can legit walk up and flay. Kaisa has a lot of good burst to kill a Renekton that has no ult. It also helps a lot that Kled is so fucking far ahead. So here, Jarvan going into bottom to defend. Kaisa Thresh can push out top. Maybe they could play to redive Renekton here. It could have been an option. But it looks like G2 just want to rotate it to mid and put the Herald down. Because honestly, here is a good time to put the Herald down on mid. I think this definitely was a good window for it. But they are just hovering with Kaisa and Thresh in the bottom because they want to secure the Herald. I mean, the Infernal is also completely fine. Oh. So yeah, I think if he hits his E, he wins. Huh? Maybe he has solo kill. Caps also flash Qs. Like here, if he ult into E. Here, Nemesis didn't walk out for passive range before he E'd again. And then he took a third shot. Caps flashed. Nemesis flashed. Nemesis didn't use Hexagon Blade. I guess it came off cooldown. It's my bad. I didn't notice. And what did Thresh do? Mickey is just basing on a ward, though. That's what's up. Yeah. Base on ward. Yamato Guru. Yeah. Even this dive is tricky to do. Gragas, Morgana, Zaya. It's hard to dive the Kled. Mismatch is very good for G2. They decide to go for Inferno. I respect it. It's two schools of thought, right? Herald on the top. I don't know if this was necessary. I think they can force dive on Rennek. This is the TP of Silas. Not so great TP. They're not gonna get anything out of the... Okay. I'm fine with that. Rennek on TP is rough, man. This is rough. Super, super rough. Right on TP and top wave is boom. G2 managed to get away with so much here. They defend and they do aggressive play. That's like the story of this game. They defend, make aggressive play. At the same time, they defend with less numbers. They make the aggression with more numbers. Yeah, I was thinking, I was discussing with some people that maybe Nemesis could go here. But looking back at it again, I think probably not. There's nothing up. I remembered Perks having no mana when I discussed this with some people. I think I was just wrong. Recalling on words happened too often this series. This is very true. Now Kaisa trash on mid. They won't get engaged on ever in comparison to last game. They will be on mid. In comparison to last game, Kled is going to win split. I think he should win Akali as well. Kled is an absolute monster. Renekton is going to be pretty fucking useless. Jarvan even has option of engaging onto mid because it's a Xayah with no flash, no ult. So here you can see already G2 have many options of how to play the game. Predator is on, Jankos is in position. Jankos happen to be in position every fucking time, and this is a really, really fucking huge ult because it gives him an escape path. He W's onto the tower and he gets his aftershock from Gragas ult. Very nicely played here from Caps. Very, very good Gragas ult. It was very juicy. Renekton hovering into mid, but what does he really fucking do mid? Like if I'm playing Kaisa Thresh and Renekton is in bush, he's so fucking useless. Morgana has no initiative to force on Thresh and Kaisa. Both Xayah and Kaisa are just gonna clear the wave and then continue. Xayah casually picking up the wolves. Wind is super far ahead. Okay. Oh. So here Xayah has a bit better tempo. Kaiser's catching the wave. There's no reason here for Jankos to face check any bushes. Here they need to wait for the next mid wave before they face check here. I don't like that they face check here with Jankos too much. This is something Hylissang loves to do. You sit in bushes, control space. It's very good. But yeah, you only use a stopwatch. It's not that big a deal. But here, ideally you wait for next mid wave, wait for Xayah to show and then you face check. Or you just hug the wall, you can use E of Jarvan. And you can also make yourself safe in other ways. Already said Kled wins split. Mid prior is even. Mid prior really doesn't matter. And I think scaling side, just because G2 has Kled, I think they scale better. We trade side. Also, like Silas has some good ults to steal away. Or maybe Kled needs to finish item before he starts winning, or it's hard because he just misses Q, and after he misses Q he can't spot Akali and Shroud anymore, and then he loses the all-in. Now he spots. What did Broxa do here? He just rushes into the top lane, but he gets cut off. by Michael Jarvan. Look here how Jankos is hugging him. He's hugging him, and he blocked the E of Gragas. Gragas on flash. Very well played. Nemesis is out and about, and he's probably gonna die here. Spear of Sojin. Bit of int. 0-4. Is it me or Yamato is losing frames? Jankos monster this series. I think Jankos perks played really well. Really, really well. Like the only complaints I had about Jankos are not really complaints, it's just like difference of opinion, you know? Like about doing cloud instead of pressuring, you know, there's many things. Like this one, like who, but it doesn't really matter, the tiny mistakes he did in comparison to some of the mistakes that okay, low frame rate. He's by far better than Perks. That's really not true. Reckless and Hilisan are really good level, you know, but he's not far better than Perks. That's really unfair. Of course, he pressures by being in fog because they didn't know he's doing cloud. But the moment he shows that he did cloud, meaning it's announced that he does cloud, Gragas is very relieved. I met Perks a lot in solo queue and is nowhere near as good as Reckless on ADCs. Well, who gives a shit about solo queue, man? Who gives a shit about solo queue? It really doesn't matter. Just look at how Perks performs against the best AD carries in the world. Just look at some MSI games. You have the point of view stream of Perks in many of those games if you look very deep online, and then you see that he's fucking insane, you know? Look, game 5 this game, he played Syndra bot and look what he did that game. He fucking 1v9 this game. He really 1v9'd. He really like hard 1v9'd on Syndra. And even like the freaking Lucian game before, he did a lot of good things. I think, you know, if you only look at AD carries, 1-to-1, how he plays AD carries, maybe Reckless is better. Probably Reckless is better, like better on Xayah or whatever. But how intelligent Perks is about the game is on a whole another level. Because he understands how mid laners think, he understands how solo laners think, he knows how to position himself based off of this, he knows how to play with the enemy's mind, he knows how to play a lot of AP carries in bot. This is super huge. And he has a lot of impact in his games. And I just think that on an international level already at MSI, what Perks did was amazing. Like look at the pool of ADs that were at MSI. So it was Double Lift, okay? Double Lift, there was Jackie Love, there was Teddy, and Perks was unfazed about this. Unfazed. In this best of 5, Reckless and Hylissang probably performed better than Mickey and Perks. But Mickey ended a lot of lane phases, let's be honest. Mickey can play a lot better. Mickey can play a lot better. He knows that. Because this best of 5, holy, Hylissang and Reckless played fucking good. Really good. Well, I think they're just two of these players are just really high level. I think Healy is better than Mickey. I think Healy is what Fnatic requires him to be. And I think Mickey has a lot more freedom to explore what kind of impact he can have this game. Because honestly, when he played Thresh, he was also a monster. You know, many monster games on Thresh. Mickey has crazy champion pool, and there were a lot of moments where he did game-winning plays in the previous best of 5. I think Mickey has definitely a higher ceiling. Mickey has a higher ceiling than Hylissang, but this series Hylissang played better. What do you think about Broxah Lee Sin? Oh, it's good, but like it's good. I think Broxah has some champions where he plays really well, and like it's good Gragas, good Lee, good Elise. Everything else is like okayish level. To be fair, Mickey had two like bad best of 5s by his standard. I guess Wonder goes for this all-in because he sees his team hovering into topside. Zaya's also looking to base and then TP, but the fight is over before anything happens. Broxah gets caught and then Jankos get out, Skeleton gets out. 5k gold lead, 4k gold lead. Yeah, Hylissang was performing better in these best of 5s against G2. I don't mind saying that. But then Hylissang does shit like this. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Also, he gets spotted on the ward. And then here I was talking to Mickey about this particular situation. He was telling me that, you know, they're picking up there. Hey, guys, it's a trap. What is happening? What is he doing? And then it turns out he's just chilling at Drake Pit by himself. Oh, it was funny here because the casters didn't realize that he got 1k kills. They just talked about it, and then the zoom in happened, and then now they realized.
1,000th career kill. Congratulations to the MVP of the summer split, Jankos. Beautifully done. I'm dancing around.
What a call. He's just making sure his friend Ocean Drake is doing okay. That's fair. Just guarding Drake, yeah. He's saying he's cosplaying Khaleesi.
We asked, does it take a little while?
Okay. So now when Kaisa is this fed, she gets private, seems. Salaz is in good state, has 2 items. They're looking to contest the red buff. Akali snap TP. Look at that snap TP on top wave. Boom. Salaz is chilling. No TP, no TP, no TP, no TP. Considering they won't lose Nash here, and Salaz kept TP, is not too bad for G2. But I think G2 here, they overestimated what is actually their space. Because here they are not playing... They should play around red buff space, right? This is the red buff space that I'm marking right now with my mouse. They are going past that space because Kaisa is getting spotted, and this right here is not their space. The objective is to fight for red. Kaisa's position around red. This is the space that Fnatic can't enter, but this is past the red area, so G2 is just taking a fight that is on Fnatic's conditions. But even then, it's not too bad. They're using Flash. I mean, they're using TP. Morgana used Flash. Jarvan died. I think Thresh also used Flash, if I remember correctly. So it's, I guess, Flash for Flash. 1 kill, TP off. And then Akali TP is so important because Renekton is a piece of shit. Like Renekton TP on bot, he might get dove. Kaisa has TP, Sylas has TP, Gled has TP. There's a lot of room for creativity here because Akali is the one that needs to be on side and try to survive the onslaught of these champions. What do you prefer, ketchup or mayonnaise? I prefer mayonnaise. Ketchup is fucking disgusting, honestly. Just tastes like salt and sugar. Like, how can anyone tell me that ketchup tastes like fucking tomatoes? Big fucking myth. Mechanically, Jankos is way worse than any other G2 member. That's not true. Way worse. No. You can argue who's better than the other, but way worse? No. Jankos mechanically is good. Good mechanically. He's really good mechanically. Like, he can play any fucking jungler you throw at him at a really high mechanical level. There are just some roles that require more mechanics than others. Like AD and mid is probably the most mechanically intensive roles. Then top lane and then support jungle are on a very similar level. Look at the mid lanes you have to play. You have to play Sylas, Akali, Corki, full mechanic city. Bot lane, AD carries, enough said, only mechanics, you know. Kaisa in the bot lane. Renekton no TP either. Let's see. I completely missed how he TP'd. G2 just using their prio. What does Renekton do to TP away? He has fully stacked rage. I don't think Sylas wins 1v1 right there if he commits. Oh wait, it's the hovered with Kaisa and Thresh into bottom. Renekton TP's out. This is just G2's map. A big difference that we see between Fnatic and G2 is that they seem a lot more flexible in the way they pressure. Their base timings are very, very good. I think macro-wise, G2 is much, much better than Fnatic. I think that showed in this series. His Lee was not that good recently. He didn't need to play much Elite this season. Oh, look at that EQ flash. EQ flash. Oos. A bit too wild for my taste, honestly. But Zaya used flash. That's a big deal. Zaya used flash and it's cool. Oh. Oh, caps. Oh. This one I remember because Caps went a bit too ham here. It looked like he was holding a grudge. Is it even worth to teleport like Bippo? Well, I don't know, man. It's so hard because he's so fucking useless. Renekton's just useless. At least he can stay on the turret and then TP maybe to Nash if it happens, but I don't know. Maybe it's bad. I don't want to go back and look. Okay, so let's take a look back at this fight. I don't think the Raz ult changes that much. Only the fact that he wastes it. I don't think Zaya E would kill anyone there. Fucking Perks and his recalls, man. Look at him. Look at Perks recalling. He just doesn't give a shit. It's fucking funny, man. Don't go, Caps. It's close. Because honestly, I looked at this position and I didn't think it was that good for them to go. Because Mickey is in bottom pit. I think that's why Reckless feels safe, even though they know Jarvan's position. A Silas versus Akali matchup is just two schools of thought. I got the impression that Caps wanted to prove himself in the matchup, but then game 5, they picked first pick Akali. It's also that Silas is better for both than Akali is. But yeah, this is very close, right? If he gets the lantern off and he gets a kill, then he looks like a genius here. But it's alright. Drake is spawning, Infernal. Caps is dead. Does G2 have to give this up? I don't think so. Nemesis is too low to do anything. They're basically 4v4 right here. Kaisa is such a good position too. Kaisa's monster position. She starts the fight with full stack Ginzo because she just came from the wave. They have nothing to throw on her here. They throw everything on Kled. Nemesis has no damage. Kled tanks it up because Ninja Tab is unbalanced. Broxy gets fucking one shot. Look at him. He just fucking disappears, man. He's like melted cheese, man. Wow. Wow. And that's a Nash. Okay, so to reiterate, Kled got ahead. Kled got super far ahead. Jankos smurfed in the early game. He got a Kali flash, he got a kill on top, and then Wonder Soul killed top. And then bottom survived the bottom gank. Gragas had no flash because Jankos was smurfing. Had this fight. And then Morgana got clipped a couple of times because she got caught. Wunder win split. And then G2 started winning mid-wave prio. That was a big deal. Once again, G2 also, they managed to swap into top, get a kill on Bwipo, and get first tower. This is such a big deal because they managed to get away with this every game. Last game, Fnatic managed to TP on top, Leona was in position, and they managed to kill Perks. That was a redemption kill from Mickey Flex. Level 15 Perks to level 13 Xayah. Game is absolutely over. I honestly feel that the first best of 5 of Fnatic vs G2 was better in terms of quality. Yeah, maybe you're right. Oh, very strong early game. Like, I think it's very fair to say all of these games, whatever team won early was smurfing. So G2 very strong game here. Macro wise, G2 is very tough to deal with. They have base timings that correlate with each other. Their base timings are always on point with each other when waves crash at the right time. They're always pressuring the right position. They are very flexible in how they're playing, and they don't get caught between the rotations. For me, it would make sense if Fnatic banned Thresh in other games. It's just that they can't find room in their initial bans. That's the problem. They're banning Kiana, they're banning Yasuo, champions that they do not play and don't want to play against, and then they had to ban Yumi. So it was very, very hard for them. Okay, that was game number 2. A very good Thresh adaptation. I'm really confused as to why they didn't fucking continue picking Thresh in the series.